YouTube and welcome along to another video. And this is a tag video once again. And this is the favourites tag. Now I was tagged by a guy called 1MSX2Go and 2GO2Go. And I think it was a Stig that started this tag. So thanks a lot to 1MSX2Go. Thanks to him for tagging me. And let's get into this. 4 stages to this, or 4 questions. The first one is your favourite system and game. I think my favourite system overall is Nintendo 64. My favourite game would be Mario 64. Although I don't play my Nintendo 64 now, you know, I'm playing the newer systems, but I think overall is Nintendo 64. I remember just being blown away by the Nintendo 64. It was the first time I had my first Nintendo that I had. It was the first time I played a Mario game, and I remember at the time when that was out, the PlayStation 1 was out, and to me there's just no comparison. In the sense that Nintendo 64 was miles and miles ahead of the graphics of the PlayStation 1 at the time, especially because of Mario 64. And even nowadays, if you put Mario 64 in it, I know it looks a wee bit older now, but it still looks amazing. So that's what that would be. Number 2 is your least favourite system in your collection, and why do I still collect for it? Right, okay, so my least favourite system in my collection would probably be my Sega Saturn. And the reason for that is I got a Sega Saturn when it first came out, but at the time I never had a lot of money, so I was unable to buy a lot of the games for it, and that's why it's my least favourite system, because it's got my least favourite memories of it. I remember only having a couple of games, and then, you know, I would get really bored with them and, you know, no play it, and then I'll try and get them traded in, and there wasn't a lot of shops like, you know, when the Saturn was out where I was, there wasn't a lot of game shops around, you know, to do the trading and to buy games and all that kind of stuff. So I just remember being stuck with certain games. If you got a game that you know really liked, I was kind of stuck with that for months and months. So that's why it's my least favourite system, because I've not got good memories of it. You know, why do I still collect for it? Well, I think it's because it's still an important part of somebody's collection, the Sega Saturn. You know, if you want, you know, be a collector, I think you've got to collect the whole lot, the good systems and the bad systems. And the reason why I try it, you know, I start to look out for games in the Sega Saturn is because there's a lot of games I never played. So there's a lot of good games out there that I've never played, and you know, I would like to play them. Although it's rare that you can find a lot of Sega Saturn games, although you can get them on eBay, some of them go for a lot of money. But if you're lucky enough and you're out and about, you can pick them up, maybe at car boot sales and that. The third one is a system that I want to add to my collection that I've never really played. I did think about this. I was going to go for Neo Geo, and you know, I've seen YouTube videos of Neo Geo and it looks amazing. But it's not really a system I really want to add to my collection. So a system that I really want to add to the collection would be the Sega CD and a /32X, only because they came out around about the same time. The reason why I want to add it, and I know it never done well, and I know there's not a lot of good games for it, but I remember at the time I had a Mega Drive, and I remember the Sega CD coming out. I had one shop near us that kind of rented games, and he had a Sega CD up, and I remember him putting in a Sherlock Holmes game, and I remember just being blown away by it, thinking, oh my god, we're here, you know, it's real, you're playing with real characters and real this, and I remember at the time thinking, if I'd had the money I would have snapped it up, thinking that this was going to be the next big thing. I never had the money and I never bought it, probably thank goodness, because well, I don't know how much they were when they came out, but I'm sure it would have been quite a lot of money. But I still want to add it to my collection, because I've never had one. And I will pick one up. I will pick a Sega CD and a 32X up at some point, add it to my collection. Right, okay, the console that I have my most nostalgia for, and why. And I'm going to go with the Nintendo 64. I did think about the systems I had when I was a wee child, which was the Philips G7000. But I would go with Nintendo 64. Now I've said this before in other videos, but when I got to Nintendo 64, which was after my Sega Saturn and all that kind of stuff, I seemed to have a lot of money. I was at college and, you know, I just seemed to have loads of money, or more money, to spend on games and to spend on accessories, and, you know, I had 4 pads and we were able to play 4-player GoldenEye, you know, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong Racing. You know, I had all the top games from the Nintendo 64. You know, so I had the Mario 64, which, you know, was a single player game, but then I also had the multiplayer games like your GoldenEye and Mario Kart, and even I had American football games for it, which were amazing. The ISS soccer, which was amazing for it. I mean, it was just, me and my brother used to play it for hours, and I had ISS 64, and then you had ISS 98, which is I still regard as one of the best ever. Although me and my brother went back to it and played it just a wee while ago, it's